You know, if you just glance at a calendar, all you see are numbers. But have you ever stopped to think about the stories hidden behind a single date? Just one box, one day, can unlock these incredible tales of discovery, of survival, of pure inspiration. And today, we're going to do just that. We're going to look at one single day, February 4th. Just listen to that for a second. Half the particles in the universe obey him. That's what a professor shot back when a student asked who Bose was. I mean, what a statement. It hints at a legacy that's so fundamental, it's literally part of the fabric of reality. And this man, S.N. Bose, his story is our starting point, and it's tied right to February 4th. So, who was this unseen giant? Satyendranath Bose was a truly brilliant Indian physicist. And the reason we start with him today is because February 4th, 1974, well, that was the day he passed away. But what a contribution he left behind for all of us. Bose's work completely revolutionized physics. He sent a paper to Albert Einstein, of all people, which led to what we now call Bose-Einstein statistics. This changed everything about how we see the quantum world. It describes an entire family of particles, things like photons, which are particles of light, and they were named bosons in his honor. Think about that. And look, this is not just some abstract, high-level theory. No way. Bose insights are the foundation for tech we use every single day. The lasers in your Blu-ray player, our understanding of superconductivity, it's all built on his work. His legacy is all around us, really. So we've seen how February 4th marks a legacy that's on a cosmic scale, literally. But now let's zoom in. Let's go from the fabric of the universe to the fabric of human resilience and look at another incredible life connected to this very same date. Let me introduce you to Alexander Oppenheim. He was a British mathematician born on February 4th, 1903. And his life story, it's just this unbelievable journey of academic brilliance getting smashed into by unimaginable hardship. Just look at this timeline. It maps out such an extraordinary path. It starts with all the promise in the world, a scholarship at Oxford, then a professorship in Singapore. And then, 1942. His life just takes this sharp, brutal turn. He becomes a prisoner of war. But the story doesn't end there. He somehow emerges from that darkness and eventually rises to become the vice-chancellor of a university. It's just amazing. And this part is just incredible. Imagine you are in the despair of a POW camp. What do? Well, what Oppenheim did was he and other scholars in the camp, they organized a POW university. He was even elected its dean. They somehow convinced a Japanese officer to let them use books from a local college library. It was this stunning act of defiance, of keeping the mind alive in the face of absolute brutality. This quote, it just reveals the grim reality behind the heroic story, doesn't it? Years later, he'd be watching these TV dramas about his experience, all cleaned up for television, and he would just shake his head and say this. It's such a raw, humanizing detail that reminds you his resilience wasn't some movie plot. It was real, and it was forged in true, awful suffering. So we've journeyed from Bose's vast universe all the way down to Oppenheim's prison camp. What else can this single date, February 4th, show us? Well, let's follow the thread to a totally different kind of mission. Not just discovering knowledge or surviving to use it, but dedicating a life to sharing it with everyone. And that brings us to Sir Chris Zeeman. He was another mathematician born on February 4th, this time in 1925. Zeeman was a real pioneer, not just in his field, but in his passion, his belief that complex ideas, they should be for everybody. This was his whole philosophy. He said, technical skill in maths is about handling complexity, but true creativity, real genius, that's about finding the beauty in simplicity. It's about taking a really difficult idea and making it so clear and elegant that anyone can see it. And he did exactly that with his most famous work, Catastrophe Theory. Just look at this list of applications. It's wild. The theory shows how a tiny little change can trigger a sudden, huge effect, a catastrophe, in all sorts of things, from why a ship might capsize, to stock market crashes, to even why riots break out. He made maths feel relevant to the real world. And his passion for teaching had a huge impact. After he gave these televised Christmas lectures in 1978, he inspired the creation of mathematics masterclasses for young kids. And that program grew to over 40 centers all across the UK, finding and nurturing the next generation of talent. What a legacy. So, okay, let's just pull all these different threads together. We've got Bose, Oppenheim, and Zeeman. Three amazing scientists, three completely different stories, and all of them are anchored to this one day on the calendar. It's really remarkable when you think about it. One date, February 4th, connects these massive ideas. You've got the cosmic scale with Bose's particles. You've got the deeply personal human struggle of Oppenheimer, and you've got the public mission of Zeeman to bring science to the people. It's almost like a perfect summary of what science is all about. It really makes you think, doesn't it? The calendar isn't just a grid of numbers we use to plan our weeks. It's a library filled with human stories. And that leaves you with a question, right? How many other days hold stories just as incredible as these, just hiding there in plain sight? What hidden stories does tomorrow hold?